Hey gang, hope you're having an awesome day. Ryan here, back again with your daily dose of Reddit drama, the good, the bad, and the downright petty. If these stories make you laugh, gasp, or rage with me, hit that like, tap subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss a new one. Alright, much love as always, let's get into it. Our first story of the day comes from a throwaway account in the Surviving Infidelity subreddit, and it says, husband having an affair with a married coworker after 16 years together. My husband and I have 3 kids, 8, 6, and 2, the oldest of whom has cancer, and the mistress has 2 kids, 4 and 20. My husband and I have had the occasional conflict here and there, and while I acknowledge it can sometimes be a struggle, we generally got along well and always apologize at the end. Though the conflicts we had were only occasional, they did sometimes feel like a lose-lose situation because neither of us felt like our feelings were being heard due to defense mechanisms and other triggers. I had asked several times if we could see a therapist and work out some better conflict resolution skills, and he always said he wanted to think about it but never actually agreed. I decided to attend individual therapy to work on my own resolution skills. Despite this, we had what I perceived to be an otherwise pretty happy and loving relationship full of laughter and connectedness. Unfortunately, this week my husband unexpectedly told me he has fallen out of love with me and that he wants a divorce. On my birthday, he said it was because of how we handle conflict together, and he's known for a couple of years it was inevitable. I was completely blindsided by this because I would often periodically check in to see if he was happy, and he had always said yes. He said brutal things about dreading being in the room with me and being intimate with me. I was absolutely shattered. He became so harsh and cold that it was like he was a different person. He has never talked to me like that in 16 years. He said he wanted 50-50 custody of my kids, and I was crushed because my babies are my entire life. Friends and family were concerned he was cheating. I work 12-hour shifts and rely on my husband to do school pickups, but lately he was frequently working through lunches, which left my parents to pick up the kids. He also worked late and would delay picking my kids up from their grandparents' house for a couple of hours. I was always so appreciative of how hard he worked for our family. I didn't want to believe it, but when I checked his phone, I discovered everything. Lots of nude photos from both of them, videos of them having intimate relations at work, videos of them having intimate moments in hotels, face selfies of my husband waiting in my son's chemo room, conversations about arguments my husband and I had, and the mistress responding and saying I had to get a clue and that she was happy he was able to put it back on me. I screenshotted everything and sent them to myself before I confronted him. Turns out he is in love with his mistress and wants to be with her. He said it's complicated and that she has not told her husband about the affair. It's been going on for over a year. My son was literally diagnosed with his cancer in September, and I'm honestly sick to my stomach knowing what he has done throughout that time. Despite it all, I am completely devastated to lose him. His conversations with her look like a completely different person. Never in a million years would I have guessed that was him. I sent him away to sleep in his work office that night. But the following day, he called and said he wants to be with his kids and be at the house indefinitely until we finalize the divorce. He has a right to be in his own home, but being around him has been making me physically ill. I am absolutely miserable, clueless on where to start, and heartbroken watching him leave the house and knowing where he is going. I've told him that legally I am still his wife and that I do not want him talking to his mistress at all while he is under my roof or around my kids. He has agreed to do that, but he has been so deceptive that it doesn't mean much to me anymore. I can't imagine being stuck in this situation for months or longer. He even had the nerve to ask me if his mistress can be around my kids. I am so furious, so sad, so distressed, and just feel like I want to unalive. My kids don't know what is going on yet, but they have been sensing that I've been distressed. I'm trying to hold it together and lean on family and friends. I'm also super stressed about losing our home. My husband is wanting to sell it, and my parents have mentioned they may be able to buy him out. I haven't told my husband this because I need to figure out how that might work, and I don't want to make his life any easier at this point. My credit is average, and interest rates are so high, though, that I'm afraid I won't be able to keep my low interest rate from when I bought the home a few years ago if they were to buy him out. It's all just too much to lose at once. I can't eat. I've lost 10 pounds in 1 week, can't sleep, never been so depressed in my entire life. In 1 week, almost every single aspect of my life has been threatened. Someone tell me it gets better because I am barely hanging on. Oh my God. First of all, this is gut-wrenching. You know what absolutely blows my mind? We've got someone juggling the lives of every person around him while putting on this facade of father of the year when, surprise, surprise, he's cheating at the worst possible time. And let's talk about dropping this bombshell on your birthday. I mean, are we serious right now? The audacity. And the worst part is, throughout this entire ordeal, OP feels like a ghost in their own life. Their husband, once a partner for 16 years, is now a stranger spewing venom, completely flipping the narrative on their relationship. Like, who does this when your child is diagnosed with cancer? I mean, It's just painful to even think about. The betrayal here is genuinely massive. That man left OP stumbling through hell with no care for the wreckage. And then, cherry on the misery cake, he wants his mistress around OP's kids? Are you kidding me? That's a level of insensitivity that's borderline unreal. Listen, if you're feeling this with me, drop your thoughts below. OP deserves so much better and to navigate through this with the strength they never imagined they'd need. It gets better, and if OP survives this, she deserves a bloody medal. Keep holding on. It's painful now, but brighter days have to come, right? Someone says, 6 things to do right away. First, see a shark lawyer with all the evidence of his cheating. Even if you live in a no-fault state, they can be used as a bargaining chip to get a better settlement. Second, do STD testing to make sure that he didn't give you any. Third, find a therapist to start your healing journey. Fourth, start to gray rock your wayward husband. Ignore him unless it's about your children or your pending divorce. Fifth, concentrate on your children since they will go through the traumas of his betrayal with you. Be their rock and support. Sixth, tell all your family and friends about his cheating so they know why you are filing for a divorce. It's time to focus on your physical and mental health. Your children need you more than ever, so make sure to eat well and take good care of yourself. Don't believe anything your wayward husband says, and don't take him back no matter what he promises. And make sure to let the other betrayed spouse know about his wife's cheating. It will take time, but you will heal and move on. You will come out of this tunnel of pain one day with a smile on your face. So be kind to yourself and be patient. I wish you a speedy healing and all the best. A Reddit user says, contact the affair partner's husband and tell him about their affair now. Hire a divorce attorney as soon as possible and ask for the clause in the custody agreement that no new partners can be introduced to your children until the parents have officially been dating for 1 year. That doesn't include their affair time. Lock down your credit and remove 50% of all joint money. Tell him that if he doesn't move out, then you will contact his human resources and inform them of the affair and intimacy in the workplace. Discuss it with your attorney, but you don't have to be nice to this man anymore. Tell all of your friends and family, including his family, about his affair. Update me. Someone says, tell his affair partner's husband, the original poster. He has a right to know, just as you did. I'm really sorry for your son's cancer and for what you are going through with that, in addition to your husband's cheating. I divorced my lying, cheating wife right away. We had 3 children, all under 10 years old. We were together for almost 25 years and married for over 15, but all of our children were healthy. I can't imagine having a child with cancer on top of my wife's infidelity. I really feel for you. Original poster. Original poster, you said, I am still his wife and that I do not want him talking to his mistress at all while he is under my roof or around my kids. And you said, he even had the nerve to ask me if his mistress can be around my kids. Original poster, tell that lady's husband about her affair. Odds are, it will really throw a kink into your husband's relationship with her. It just may end things between them, and if so, she won't be around your kids, etc. Someone says, tell the other betrayed spouse. Inform him of his wife's affair and let him know you have irrefutable evidence in the form of texts, pictures, and videos of their infidelity. That may help one or both of them come out of their affair fog. Consult a lawyer and prepare divorce papers to be ready to serve, even if you may decide to give him a second chance. It will be good to have them ready, and you can always halt the divorce procedure later on. I would leave him if I were you, despite the difficulties you may face with the house, co-parenting, and your son's cancer. However, it is ultimately your decision. It seems that you have a strong support system in your family. Use it, along with the support of your close friends. It never hurts to listen to different opinions from them. Take care of yourself. Your first priority right now should be yourself and your children. All the best. Several months later, the OP returns with an update and shares her current situation. First of all, I just want to thank each and every one of you who commented and messaged me with support last year. It took me a while to respond, but I am finally in a better place and wanted to update this group since it may help someone else. First and foremost, my son is officially cancer-free. He rang the bell of chemo completion at the end of 2024. He is healthy and living a normal childhood now with his siblings. I am truly so grateful. I took the advice of many on here and got the best attorney in town. I called multiple other highly talented ones as well to get consultations, as I was told it would then be a conflict of interest for them to work with my husband at that point. I filed for divorce in August 2024, and the divorce was final in November 2024. My attorney told me everything to say to my ex and was a secret ghostwriter of my paperwork. He never even knew I had an attorney. I told my ex at the time that I was trying to puzzle through the best housing scenario for our kids. My oldest child was still going through his chemo treatments and is also autistic, so he doesn't adjust well to change. I knew if we sold the house, the boys would lose their childhood home and also change schools, which would be rough on them. By the grace of God, my ex voluntarily offered to walk away from the house and forego hundreds of thousands of dollars of equity in the home if I paid off his debts. He had maybe 30K in debt and a car payment, so my incredible parents helped me pay him off, and we essentially bought him out of his portion of the house while still keeping my low interest rate from the time we purchased. My ex didn't have a hint of remorse up until this point, but I think he finally realized the effect all this would have on his children. He was also heavy in his affair fog and probably just wanted to wash his hands of me as fast as possible. So when he offered to walk from the house, that was the time I ran to get an attorney and make sure it was done correctly. We talked to title companies at first, but the attorney told me it was not necessary to do that, and that my ex could sign an interspousal transfer deed along with our stipulated judgment, and the house would be legally mine. My ex and the affair partner are still together. He has told my kids that he has a girlfriend and plans to move in with her and my kids in April. I have the kids in weekly therapy and they are doing well with it. My ex decided he didn't actually want 50-50 custody and I have 70% custody of them. So my ex essentially gets them every other weekend and one random overnight weeknight a week. This was his idea. It was hard to be away from my babies, but I tried to remind myself that they were safe and happy with their dad and use that time to focus on myself. He also pays me a large amount of child support every month because of this requested custody arrangement. Not sure he ever realized this, but it is very helpful. I have revamped my home and redecorated it to make it my sanctuary. I absolutely love it. My ex is renting an apartment in a cheaper part of town. The affair partner's husband is now aware of the circumstances and they are in the process of completing their divorce. I am personally doing very well now. I lost a significant amount of weight and go to the gym regularly. I also go to church and therapy every week. I have heavily poured into my self-growth and have become a completely different person, full of peace and contentment. I also regularly invest in beauty treatments that make me feel happy, hair, nails, lashes, and my confidence has never been higher. My ex still tries to trigger me and speaks in a condescending tone on a regular basis. I took the advice of some people on here and remain unresponsive to him. He truly doesn't know what to do with himself anymore. It's like I've pulled a reversal and he can't process it. Between my mental growth and my physical changes, he always looks visibly confused. On the bright side, the affair partner gained a bunch of weight, and it has been fun to hear people's commentary on that. Normally, I'm a total girl's girl, but after the way she treated me, I will secretly relish in that. I decided it was important to keep conversations with my kids regarding my ex's relationship with the affair partner age appropriate. They don't know about the way the relationship started, but if they are older and they ever ask, I will be honest with them. I am now dating someone new. It's been a little scary to be back out there, but I'm trying to trust in time, consistency, emotional intelligence, and high effort. You all deserve the same. Truly, I am so grateful for every single one of you. I was at my lowest for some time, but I saw a psychiatrist and started some treatments, which has changed my life. The darkness gets easier, my loves. Hang in there and message me if any of you ever need anything. God bless you all. A Reddit user says, what a loser to not only cheat, but also give up most custody of his kids. I find it pathetic when a parent fights for less time with his kids. Someone says, can you share people's commentary on the affair partner's weight gain? OP responds, sure. The weight comments specifically came from friends who were aware of the cheating and had seen pictures of her at the start of the affair. Once my ex started posting pictures of her, people began messaging me, saying she had clearly gained a lot of weight. I just laughed and shrugged it off. But yes, it looks like she has gained 40 or 50 pounds. I've literally seen that girl's colon from all her fun pictures, so I remember it well. My ex and I had a lot of mutual friends, so even though I didn't follow his posts and stories anymore, our friends would often tell me about them or send them to me. One of my favorites that comes to mind is when a mutual friend messaged me a photo asking, wait, I'm sorry, is this who he left you for? Another comment was, I thought this was his mom. Another time, my heavily accented elderly neighbor brought me tomatoes and told me she saw the girl waiting in the car the day he was moving out and that my neighbor gave her the biggest stink eye. Then she said in her English accent, ugly, ugly girl. I love me an angry old lady. You know what blows my mind? This update. Here I am, reading about this incredible woman who just dealt with a backstab as massive as her husband having an affair, and boy, does she come back stronger. It's such a roller coaster. Her son beats cancer, and she's out here handling her divorce like a total pro. Seriously, this whole thing screams resilience. And then, not only does she manage to keep her house for her kids, but the way she did it, getting her ex to walk away from his share. That's some next level strategy right there. I mean, now she's thriving, working out, investing in herself, and somehow developed superpowers against her ex's cheap tactics. I swear, the comeback is unreal. Oh my god. And the ex? Getting stuck with the apartment and a new partner who's apparently packed on a few pounds. Meanwhile, she's out here breaking hearts again with a new love. For crying out loud, if OP survived this, she deserves more than a medal. Truly inspiring. If anyone's feeling this empowerment, you better drop your thoughts below, because this story, it's an emotional ride worth sharing. Our next story comes from a commenter in the Am I the Asshole subreddit. And it says, am I the a-hole for telling my husband that I no longer want to be involved with anything regarding his child? Background. I, a 26-year-old, have been married to my husband, who is 27, for 4 years, and he has a child, aged 6, from a previous relationship. The kiddo stays with the child's mother in a different province. Right, so on to the current issue. The child's mother has been a bit of a problem for as long as I have known my husband, and I'll provide several examples. 1. She lied about the child being deathly ill and on life support. 2. She provided a fake hospital bill regarding the above. 3. She lied to my father-in-law about my husband paying child support, so she was receiving money from both my husband and father-in-law. 4. She lied to both my father-in-law and me about my husband getting her pregnant again when she visited previously. 5. She lied to my in-laws about my husband hiding the child's birth certificate. 6. She frequently threatens to send the child to live with us because she claims she cannot manage. 7. She demands money on top of the child support she is receiving. Those are just a few things off the top of my head. I tried speaking to my husband today, and I basically told him that he needs to have a backbone because she truly does take advantage at times. He got upset with me and said that I'm disrespectful. But here's the thing. The child's school fees and child support are paid every single month without fail, yet she always demands more, and my husband always just gives in, even if it negatively affects us. I'm not saying he should not support the child. He most definitely should do that as it is his responsibility. My problem lies with the fact that she cannot hold a job, and even when she does have one, the tantrums and money demands never end. It's never a request for help. It's always, you need to pay for XYZ. Previously, when I used to give advice, he would tell me I'm not a parent, so I don't know. Lately, if I speak up or give advice, he just gets annoyed with me, and apparently I have no way of speaking. He literally just refuses to have a backbone when it comes to her. I've had it up to the end of time with this behavior from both of them. He just can't understand that she is completely taking advantage of him, but I digress. I've told my husband many times to rather not involve me, as it's a contentious subject. Time and time again, I have broken the boundary to give him comfort or to listen to him vent, and I'm just tired of being made out to be the bad guy that knows nothing. So I told my husband today that I'm standing firm on my decision this time, and I will no longer be breaking my boundary, so he is upset. Edit 1. Many people are assuming that I have an issue with the child, and I genuinely do not. I love her very much. I am literally just tired of being unheard and treated like an idiot because I didn't give birth to a child, as well as the fact that she is constantly disrespectful towards my husband. We have no other issues besides this. When I said I no longer want to be involved, it meant taking my support away from my husband because he turns all kinds of support into something negative. Edit 2. Thank you to everyone for your input. I can't respond to all comments, so I'm just going to summarize the majority of what I've been receiving. Firstly, I am not pregnant, so I'm not sure where some people are getting this idea. Secondly, the main issue is not financial support. At the end of the day, it is his duty to financially support his child, and I will never ask him to stop. My issue lies with him constantly letting his child's mother bully him and, by extension, me. In regard to sending extra money whenever she asks, it's over the silliest of things, and she never gives us any notice. She randomly requests money for things that she can literally sort out herself. Normally, I wouldn't mind, but he just started a new job after being unemployed for 2 months due to no fault of his own. And I really need help at home because I was trying to manage everything on my own. But I also feel that when she asks for extra cash and he sends even a portion of it, it opens up an entirely new issue. I need more help than I am getting. I don't think it's fair to me that he complains and complains, yet when I offer solutions, I'm brushed off or he gets upset. I love him. He is a good man, but this woman literally has him under her control, and I'm tired of just being ignored when it comes to this. I don't have to have given birth to have common sense. A Reddit user says, not the a-hole. Hubby is for enabling his manipulative baby mama and disrespecting you in the process. He needs to grow a spine and take his baby mama back to court to sort out this mess. His behavior doesn't bode well for the long-term success of your marriage. Question: how are your finances split? OP responds, household expenses are split between us. The only thing separate is payment for his child. A Reddit user says, not the a-hole, but why would your husband believe a hospital bill? Do you have universal health care? Is the child in private school? Why are there school fees? He needs to get a lawyer and not pay anything unless it's looked over. It's not your responsibility. OP responds, he didn't believe it. We did our due diligence and figured she was trying to get money out of us. We are not in the United States of America, so most things are paid for where I am from. Several months later, the OP provides an important update regarding her situation, sharing, hi guys, I made a post in the Am I the A-hole community a while back, and I would just like to give an update. So, let's get straight into it. We are now divorced. Everything was finalized this week, and all of my belongings were removed from our marital home yesterday. After being married for 6 years, I'm hurt and broken, but I'm confident that this was the right decision. I finally realized that 90% of being with him was about manipulation and control. Regarding his child, he still hasn't done a paternity test, and he has gone no contact with the child and her mother, except for paying child support. I'm sorry this update took so long. Someone says, this may be a leap, but did he go no contact with his child in response to you divorcing him? That is, no longer being in the picture to take care of her? I'm only making that assumption based on your original post, but that's what it sounds like. It's wild to me that his lack of a spine regarding his child's mother and his decisions to, in turn, include you in their drama was such a huge issue during your marriage that he refused to address, yet, upon your divorce, he suddenly gained the will to cut her off entirely, laughing. It's messed up that he's including his own child in that as well. But either way, I imagine that you must feel so unburdened knowing that you'll never have to deal with those antics again. Your first post did not sound as though you were in an equal partnership, and that's something that no one should ever feel in their marriage. I'm happy for you. You deserved so much better than what you previously described. Good luck, and I wish you the best in all your future endeavors. Original poster. A Reddit user says, honestly girl, good riddance. Your page is like 90% complaining about him and it goes back years. Seems like this has been a long time coming. Better late than never. You're still young. You'll bounce back from this. If you ever need any reassurance that you're doing the right thing, just go back and scroll through your posts. A Reddit user says, I'm sorry. I know this can't be easy for you, but I read your first post and I don't think you had a better alternative unless you were willing to be coerced and manipulated by her and being dismissed and unheard by him. I'm keeping a good thought for you. And hang on a second, because that reveal was just layered. Like, they threw the whole relationship in the bin and the guy's out here living in some kind of paternity denial? I mean, really? You find out 90% of your relationship was manipulation and control, and then this dude can't even step up for a paternity test? What are we even doing here? I need a moment to digest all of that. But hey, that's where we wrap this roller coaster. If you've got thoughts, wild opinions, or just want to rant, drop them below. I want to hear from you guys. Remember to subscribe and dive into more stories on my channel because things just never seem to disappoint around here. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss when we bring you more reality shaking content. Just unbelievable.